Hello there.
Welcome back, my friend.
Hello, what have we here?
Jedi, we've been expecting you.
Knew I could count on you.
Hello.
Welcome to the rebellion. What fun!
Hey everyone, Hybrid here, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Star Wars The Black Series Clone Commander Thorn. This is a new Target exclusive here in the US, and he is based on the 6th season of the Clone Wars. This was the Netflix season back in the day before Disney Plus ultimately came around. But these clones that we have just been getting at Target lately are filling in some of these side commanders. I always think with the Black Series, we do a really good job of getting all of the important commanders, if you will, the movie ones, Commander Cody, Gree, Bly, and then the important ones from the show, Wolf and Rex and Fox. But you have a lot of ranked clones with really cool designs that appear like one time in one episode. And they're cool enough that you would buy an action figure of, you know, and they just don't always get it. But here we have Commander Thorn looking really, really cool, packed up with his minigun, the Z6 rotary cannon, which is a new blaster for the Black Series. Super excited for that. And yeah, I just want to tear into this one. So let's go ahead, dive on in, see what's going on here, and see if Commander Thorn is one you should consider adding to your Grand Army. Let's go. And here's Commander Thorn in the packaging. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at it. It is your standard Black Series box with the mostly black motif going on the front with some yellow highlights because it is from the Clone Wars. You got your yellow Clone Wars number 24, Clone Commander Thorn. Black Series logo above a big window showing him and his accessories off nicely. Yellow backdrop going on. Got some warnings, some 4+, some Hasbro symbols going on. Got a really cool art of him on the side, spinning up that minigun, his name below that. This side features a wraparound window, wraparound stripe, and a Black Series logo. Around back features another Black Series logo, the zoom in of that side art, and then a bio about the character in a variety of languages. Pause and read whichever one best applies to you. He's number 24 on the line. Bunch of legal stuff below that with Disney and Hasbro logos. More legal stuff, barcode, and a hanger tab up top. Very standard Hasbro action figure packaging things. Let's go ahead and get him out of the box and see what's going on. Here's Commander Thorn out of the packaging and on the table, and I gotta say, initial impressions, really satisfied with this one. Let's go ahead and dive into his accessories really quick. So, the less notable, he does come with the two DC-17 blaster pistols. They look nice. They are in that dark gray plastic, almost black, not quite black though, and these are not new accessories by any stretch. He has these gray painted holsters, which they plug into very nicely. This is the same belt that they used for the Commander Doom, where I mentioned that it looks like the holsters have moved up a box to the front. I kind of like that look. And this clone also features the dual trigger fingers. Back in 2023, when they made this sculpt, they introduced a secondary dual trigger finger, and then they've not used it on every figure since, even though some of them do carry pistols. So it is nice to know that they at least gave him to this pistol guy, even though, let's be fair, this is why we're here. So this is the Z6 rotary cannon. It is the big badass blaster of every clone that's carried it throughout the show. First known for being used by Heavy in the legendary episode Rookies back in Season 1. Hardcase carries it throughout the series. He uses it notably in the Umbara arc, and a number of other clones throughout use it, but none to the proficiency that they did, until Commander Thorn showed up and proceeded to show everyone just what a guy with this gun can do. Blimey, for the Republic, he did it. But this weapon is finally being done in the line, and gosh, who better to give it to than Commander Thorn? Funnily enough, back in the day, there used to be a 375 Black Series line, back when Vintage Collection was like on hiatus for a few years, and they made a Commander Thorn, and they didn't give him the minigun. So the 6-inch one's better than the 3-inch one once again. However, I will say there are a couple things on this gun I don't like. It is in that kind of silvery plastic. Not really a big fan of that. Wish it was in that same dark gray plastic that the pistols are made out of. Not really sure why it's done in silver. It's never looked silver in any of the shows. It's always the same color as all the other guns that are seen on the screen. So why this one needed to be silver, I will never know. I like the kind of coppery brown punch-ins, the appropriate color here on this middle area. Again, I'd like the whole thing to be that color. I kind of like that this handle moves. It's got a slight hinge to it that'll help you with different posing. And then actually the barrel rotates as well, although there's no function to it, and it actually just pulls right off the front. So it's I don't know, it's an interesting thing to be able to do, but it do in fact do, right? So yeah, those were words. But anyway, it looks nice, and when you get him posed up holding it, he looks great. Of course, we will do that later on. Looking at Thorn, he looks excellent. This is our newest Coruscant Guard Trooper, and he is going to be a fine addition to the few ranks that we already have. The first one we ever got was Commander Fox. No, that's a lie. We did get the Coruscant Guard before Commander Fox in the Order 66 4-pack. Terrible 4-pack. Would not recommend anyone buy it in this day and age. All those figures are horribly dated. Same as Commander Fox. But we did get in the Bad Batch line the Coruscant Guard with their pauldrons as seen on Kamino. And these guys are a bit of a brighter red. However, I think you get them on the shelf next to each other, it'll blend a little bit. These guys are a brighter red than the Fox as well, so I think the Fox will ultimately still work well with Thorn. But he's just got a softer red. It's not as vibrant. It's a little bit more matte, but it's all right. He looks really, really good. Now, much like Commander Doom, this character has a Marvel inspiration. Commander Thor. You see where we're going here? He has Thor's wings on his helmet there. And then he has his minigun. And gosh, I'm totally blanking on the reference. I thought someone said it was inscribed with like hammer on it or something. So yeah, really, really cool reference in universe there. But this guy just looks great. The comma is a little bit wrinkled from being in packaging. I know a lot of people have mentioned it in their reviews, and like, yeah, but gosh, I think, you let it sit on the shelf for a little while, it'll relax. Just, it's what you get for wadding it up in plastic, Mine has maybe just the littlest bit of red rub on the torso, like in that crevice there. Something that's just kind of catching the light, and I don't know. He's very clean looking. Like the Doom had a little bit of a wash to him. This guy's very clean looking, and other than the scuffs on the paint on the biceps, everything else on him is very clean. And then one inaccuracy to note is the knee pads are supposed to be white, and this guy got red ones. Not quite sure how that happened, but it happened, and that's just how it happens sometimes, I guess. But other than that, very nice looking. Really liking the deco on the helmet. He's reusing that Commander Cody chest piece, same as Commander Doom. So around back, he actually has his back hole plugged in from Commander Cody's jetpack. I don't know what the right solution would have been here. I think if you just left it as a hole, people would have been like, okay, maybe there's some accessory that you can buy in another figure that'll fit on it. Whereas you put a plug in it, catches the eye a little bit. Not as bad as the one on Doom, I think, but still. Just, I don't know. I think I'd have left the hole open, personally. But that's just me. Spinning him around, gotta say, he is mostly just a 2023 clone. Otherwise, he's got the shoulder antenna that looks cool. And the head is a solid head sculpt. Part of me likes the charm of knowing there's a guy under the helmet, but gosh, people freak out about that. And it's worth there not being the charm of a guy being in there to get a bunch of loud people to shut up about it. So I guess I'm okay with it ultimately. But yeah, man, he just looks great. I really like how this guy looks. To run through some articulation, again, it's a 2023 clone sculpt. We're all pretty familiar with it, but I'll do it again, just for you. He has that ball on the double ball neck system. It doesn't look that far up, that far down. A little side to side and pivot in there you want. His arms come up to a T-pose. There's a deep butterfly joint in there. 360 degree rotation at the shoulder. The shoulder pad is on a ring on the peg in there, so it'll actually travel with and not get in the way. Single jointed elbows can go a little bit past 90. Swivel at the elbow, although the bicep turns easier than the elbow, especially when you get that like elbow pad kind of in there. So it rotates all the same though. 360 on the wrist with both of them hinging up and down on this guy. Mid-torso ball joint allows him to crunch not far forward, that far back. Once you get some pivot in there and rotation, he can do a pretty good split. He can kick his leg that far forward, not much back. There's an upper thigh rotation in there, hidden by the armor. That's one of the nice ones. Most of them are not. And then single jointed knees go a little bit past 90. And that knee pad is just floating in there, which is nice, keeps it out of the way. rotates at the knee as well, and then the feet can point a little bit down and a lot forward, and there's a forward-facing rocker, allowing you to get him into some decently wide stances with both feet flat on the ground, for instance, a minigun pose. But yeah, all in all, oh gosh, I smacked my tripod as he was tipping over. I did everything wrong there. All said, he does look really good, though, gotta say. Here's Commander Thorn with a variety of other characters, the Coruscant Guards, which, let's be fair, these guys were on Walmart.com for $10 at one point. A lot of us bought this guy to Army Build and took the pauldron off to get our Coruscant Guard numbers up. So he's probably who you're going to pair him with. The red not matching great is a little bit unfortunate, but it's red. It'll work. Doom, just because they came out at the same time, at the same store exclusive, they kind of make a neat pair. And the Separatists, which he made sure to mow down many of in his heroic final stand. So at the end of the day, what do I think of this Commander Thorn? just wow. I mean, they put in some great effort on this guy. Again, we're starting to get into like Glup Shido territory of clones here. They're a little bit more obscure, but you get a cool design like Thorn, which is one of those like legendary last stand moments. And I mean, gosh, how could you not want this guy on your Clone Trooper shelf? I mean, what an absolute G, Yeah, Commander Thorn, just a super cool character, realized in the Black Series very, very well. And there's nothing bad to say. If you like clones, this is a good one for your shelf. If you don't like clones, well, then probably isn't one for you, but I think you knew that going into this, right? But all said, what a great figure. I really do like this guy a good deal. Just a great addition to the clone shelf, great addition to the line, and one that I'm very happy to recommend. And I do. If you think you'd like it, you got my recommendation on him. So I'm going to go work on something else now. Thank you guys so much for coming out, hanging out, listening to me talk about toys. I appreciate you. I'm going to go work on another video. So until next time, may the Force be with you. I'll catch you then. Bye.